Looking for you. Fox 2 News at 6 starts now.
Hello, one and all, and welcome to the HD Show. I am Dave Spencer. We have a lot of news to get to, but first, let's look outside. It was kind of gloomy, a little rainy, if you will. So let's check in with meteorologist Rich Luderman to see if that trend will continue.
It is, Dave. We certainly had the rain and the thunder yesterday evening. Now, since yesterday evening, a lot of us have picked up more than an inch of rain, and you can see low pressure continues to spin right over Wisconsin. So we have more showers in the forecast, especially this evening. Things will start to relax a bit overnight tonight, but even tomorrow and Tuesday, we'll still have a few sprinkles around. Notice the heavier showers closer to Lake Michigan right now, but they're all generally moving off to the east. So again, it stays rather damp this evening. Here's a good look on Sky Tracker. Some pockets of light rain around Pontiac, up around Port Huron along Interstate 69. Close to Flint, there are those heavier showers still to the west of Lansing and Jackson, but they're tracking in our direction. Now, since this time yesterday, a lot of us are down 5 to 10 degrees. It is cooler and damp out there this evening. How about the numbers today at the airport? 54 on the high side, 50 on the low side, so not a lot of day-night variation. Area averages 63 and 45, records 83 and 26. There's your rainfall total, a little more than 1/10 of an inch since midnight. A lot of us are near 50 degrees right now, maybe just a little milder, close to Adrian there at 58, 50 in Mount Clemens. The breeze starting to turn now to the north and east, and that's going to also keep us on the cool side. 47 Ludington, 45 there in Marquette. Certainly some warmer air along the Ohio River. 76 in Pittsburgh, 74 in Cincy. But that warm air is not coming up this far to the north, and I'll show you why. Later on tonight, low pressure will be out there near Buffalo, and then it tracks off to the north and east. We're going to be on the backside of low pressure, and that means a bit brisk and cooler for your Sunday night, Monday, even into Tuesday. It's going to stay rather chilly. A couple of weak disturbances will keep that sprinkle chance, but most of Monday and most of Tuesday will be dry. For the rest of tonight, it is going to stay damp and cool. Eventually, we'll get down to 44. Now, tomorrow, much like today, lots of clouds, a couple of sprinkles around, chilly. Tomorrow is Columbus Day, your daytime high of 53. And then notice in the 7-day forecast, by the end of the week, we're moving in the right direction. In fact, sunshine returns Thursday, Friday. How about Saturday? We've got the home game up at Michigan State, and then Sunday, mid-60s. So at least we're going to get the cooler, damp weather out of the way early this week. Remember, always get the latest forecast. Check it out, the Fox 2 Weather app. You can download it for free right now or anytime in the App Store or in Google Play. And Dave, we'll see you tonight after baseball. Go for it.
That's right, Rich. Thank you very much. Now to a news alert to tell you about out of California, where a man with a loaded gun was arrested at a checkpoint near Donald Trump's rally that was being held at Coachella on Saturday. The sheriff there says the 49-year-old suspect was driving a black SUV and was stopped by deputies. The suspect was arrested on suspicion of possessing a weapon. Authorities say the incident did not impact the safety of the former president or the people who were attending the event. And one suspect is behind bars, facing charges in connection to the brutal murder of a man from Rochester Hills. We're talking about 37-year-old Carlos Jose Hernandez of Dearborn. He was arrested in Louisiana yesterday. Hernandez and another suspect are accused of killing 72-year-old Hussein Murray inside his home in Rochester Hills. Police say the two showed up and were pretending to be DTE workers who were looking for a gas leak. Hernandez is being transported back to Michigan. The other suspect remains on the loose and should be considered armed and dangerous. Anyone with information should call Crime Stoppers right away. Here's an update on the fatal double shooting in Pontiac. 32-year-old Devontae Franklin was arraigned in connection to pulling the trigger. Police tell us that Franklin shot and killed two men at an apartment complex over a dice game. Police believe Franklin was angry after losing and then decided to seek revenge. He's even accused of trying to use a potato as a silencer. Franklin is facing charges, including first-degree murder, felon in possession of a firearm, and using a firearm in the commission of a felony. He's being held without bond. The Southfield Police Department needs your help searching for missing 27-year-old Gianna Smith. Smith is 5'3", 120 pounds, with braided black hair and brown eyes. She was last seen wearing a black sweatshirt with burgundy pants. Police say Smith recently made suicidal statements and may be armed. Anyone with information on to where she is should call Southfield Police right away. Parents in Troy are raising concerns after they say racist emails were discovered while looking into why some honor math classes were removed from the curriculum. Fox 2's Ingrid Kelly has more on the allegations and how the district is responding.
Surreal Patel wants the best education for his daughter, who is in the 6th grade. But he says for now, that can't be found in the city of Troy, where his home is.
We will not be enrolling next year either as a result of this.
The issue? The removal of honors math classes for grades 6 and 7.
I believe that the honors courses removal was influenced by race. A group of parents got together and FOIA'd the emails, and that's when we've learned that there was not widespread support at all. There was only one parent that wrote to the district indicating support for the removal.
At a school board meeting last month, an email to math chairs at leading universities by school board president Carl Schmidt was criticized for what some believe he had to say about Asian parents.
These parents often derive social status from the academic status of their children.
That doesn't match my thinking. That doesn't match the thinking of the Troy School District.
The superintendent says the board president apologized for how the remarks were received and offered to meet with those offended, but so far, no one has come forward. Dr. Richard Mashesky also makes it clear that the removal of some honors courses has nothing to do with race.
We made a decision in the middle school to reduce accelerated courses in an effort to level up our courses in order to provide more opportunities for all students to be prepared when the time is right to make the decision to take accelerated or honors level or advanced placement coursework.
Is hurting students at all ends of the spectrum by removing ability-based education.
The superintendent makes it clear that this district welcomes all and believes in inclusion.
The Troy School District has a rich history of embracing diversity. We believe in inclusion and belonging for all students.
In Troy, Ingrid Kelly, Fox 2 News.
TikTok's future could be in jeopardy in the U.S. once again. Over a dozen states are suing the social media giant, alleging the popular app is purposefully addictive for kids and hurting their mental health. The lawsuits are demanding TikTok change some of its software features or face financial penalties if it doesn't comply.
They have an algorithm that's designed to suck our kids in and keep them on.
TikTok built a platform to exploit teens for profit, and its reason for doing so is simple. One word: greed. My message to TikTok is simple. Stop targeting the well-being of America's youth.
In response, TikTok says it disagrees with the claims and provides robust safeguards for those under 16 who use the app. A mass shooting near a Tennessee football homecoming parade leaves one person dead and 9 others wounded. Police were called to the scene near Tennessee State University in Nashville just later that Saturday afternoon. Police tell us it was a dispute between 2 groups that led to the shooting. A 24-year-old man died from his injuries. 3 other victims, all under 18, are being treated for non-life-threatening injuries. There's no update on if any arrests have been made at this time. Those are sirens going off in northern Israel as Israeli military stops 5 projectile rockets fired from Lebanon. The Lebanese attack is the latest hail of rockets to be sent over. Hezbollah began sending rockets into Israel last year. Conflicts between Israel and Hezbollah have increased after Israel killed Hezbollah's leader in a wave of strikes. Israel also launched a ground offensive into southern Israel earlier this month. Meanwhile, Pope Francis is calling for an immediate ceasefire for all conflicts in the Middle East. The Pope says he hopes the wars and sufferings will, quote, soon come to an end, end quote, while delivering his prayer. He also is urging Russia to stop strikes against the civilian population in the Ukraine and asked the group to keep the people in Haiti in his prayers. President Biden arrived in Florida today, surveying the damage caused by Hurricane Milton just last week. The storm brought heavy rain and winds to the Tampa-St. Petersburg area along the Gulf Coast. Milton is one of the largest hurricanes to hit the region in over 100 years. Biden talked about the efforts from the federal government that they have made to help the people in that devastated area.
FEMA has delivered 1.2 million meals, over 300,000 liters of water, 2 million gallons of fuel, and so far We've installed 100 satellite terminals to restore communications in impacted areas so families can contact their loved ones to be sure everything's okay and be able to reach out for help as well.
Now, according to Moody's Analytics, economic costs from the storm are expected to range from $50 billion to $85 billion. Even if you love your job, you are likely still look forward to a nice vacation every now and then. So new data is showing us how some remote workers find time off in different ways. Here's Fox's Ted Linder.
With remote work opportunities pressing on in the wake of the COVID-19 pandemic, the results of a recent Harris poll are highlighting a growing trend called quiet vacationing. It involves employees taking unauthorized time off from their jobs while still appearing to be on the clock. According to the data, more than 25% of American workers say they've taken unsanctioned time away from their tasks. Some business experts believe the essence of remote work could trigger more people to try a quiet vacation because remote work means people may not be doing assignments together in person. Dr. Peter Dominic says more virtual meetings may be added to their schedule to keep everyone on their team in the loop.
Things frequently have to be more planned, and with all of that planning, even when it's helpful, it still adds layers of structure that sometimes can be overwhelming.
Well, some critics say you can't fully relax on a quiet vacation because you still have to be somewhat checked into your remote job. This trend could be a sign that more people's work-life balance may be changing.
Maybe part of what we're also seeing are the different ways in which people are integrating work and other aspects of their life into a more holistic whole.
Meanwhile, the Harris poll also reveals 78% of workers don't use the full amount of paid time off they're allowed by their company, with the average employee only taking 15 paid days off last year.
I think some of that pressure is catching up with all of us.
Ted Lindner, Fox News.
The Detroit native celebrated her birthday in style with a ribbon cutting at her new professional school of cosmetology. Kanika Free founded the school in 2020 and originally began her business journey in Southfield. A grand opening celebrating the school becoming the 175th business to receive a Motor City Match grant kicked off on Friday. Free says it's been a long journey and she owes a lot to the faith and the community's support.
I truly believe that we'll be the first Black-owned national franchise cosmetology school, and we're going to start it right here in my hometown of Detroit.
Homegrown talent. These are Detroit folks making investments in the city of Detroit, hiring Detroiters, giving them a skill that they need to not only support their current businesses, but possibly spurring entrepreneurship in other parts of the city.
Kanika Free was also presented with the Spirit of Detroit Award. Motor City Match was started back in 2015 and has given out more than $19 million in grants. Detroit is gearing up to make sure Halloween is safe and fun for all kids across the city. City leaders are laying out this year's plans for Halloween in the D. 12 different rec centers will be hosting activities on Halloween evening, including haunted houses, carnival games, face painting, and trick-or-treating, of course. The fun doesn't stop there, though.
So you're going to see again, with the cooperation of all the departments, trunk or treat run by all of the police precincts, several of the firehouses, several of the rec centers. We got the Scare Fest on October 26th at Palmer Park, and then we have a Fall Fest at Farwell the week after that.
And get this, the mayor says the city gave out over 1 million pieces of candy just last year. Well, that is going to do it for us. We're all going to be watching the Lions right here on Fox 2. Then we're going to stay tuned for some baseball action. Even though the Tigers are out, we're going to have all your sports coverage along with the latest weather and the news of the day. So make sure you stick with us after the game. See you then.